3 weeks have passed since the attack of the androids, and the whole Sun family finds themselves in another emergency. The sounds of crying ring throughout the surrounding forest of Mount Paozu, as Bulma turns to her husband telling him it's his turn to deal with the baby. However, Bulma notices that Goku has already left. Looking around their room, she spots her husband holding their newborn daughter in his arms with a smile. Over the last 3 weeks, the Sun family was greeted by its newest member, Bulma, Goku and Bulma's first daughter, which has brought a bright light into the world after the tragic event of the androids' attack, which has left West City in complete ruins after the assault. The Dragon Balls being dormant from Kami's wish to stop the rampaging twins, the world now has to wait until they are once again active. Something which troubles all our Earth-raised fighters, and in hopes to protect the world and the future, each of them have begun training more intensely than ever before. None more than Krillin, who has started training on a much more regular basis after feeling hopelessly weak in the last battle. Something which Chi-Chi is pleased to be seeing as her husband becomes a more active fighter in this timeline, as she also joins in with the training more frequently. As for the Brief and Sun family, they are in a weird area, as each family member can't figure out what to do with themselves moving forward. Goku wants to help his son learn and master this new state they have found, but has no clue on how to do so, only having the idea of calling Vegeta in for a favour to get his thoughts on it. However, with Bulma just being born and knowing that his relationship with Vegeta is rocky at best, he wants to leave this for a last resort, and wants to try any other option he has before this. Both twin boys want to learn control their power as well. However, they are also trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives going forward into the future. Of course, Gohan still wants to attend school and become a scholar so he can ensure the future of his family business when he steps up to become a CEO of Capsule Corp. Something Bulma wants to see her son become, having tried to encourage Trunks to work towards it himself. However, the younger sibling thinks he will find all the conferences and meetings really boring. He does find engineering side of all of it pretty interesting, so he does plan to help out his brother develop the tech, and just leaves all the boring news reports and talks to him. Something both brothers are quite happy to work towards, both planning on attending the same school when they are a little bit more ready for it. While all this is going on, they continue their training alongside their father and Piccolo, and even the humans occasionally. However, they vow not to transform and try their best to avoid it, not even using their Ikari state that often. As for Bulma, she finds herself interested in the insane doctor which had created the androids. She has a desire to search his lab to figure out the incredible technology she could possibly find. However, at the minute she is busy running Capsule Corp as the sole heir to it, and also working on restoring West City, all the while raising her newborn daughter alongside Goku. She's got a lot going on. With the world in some sort of pseudo-peace, the Sun family continue leading what is a normal life to them. But when Bulma reaches half a year old, Bulma finally feels comfortable to start her search for Dr. Gero's lab. So, after recruiting her sons and Chi-Chi, and leaving Bulma in the care of Goku, while Chi-Chi leaves Marin, her newborn daughter, in the care of her husband, the team heads off to start scouting out for Dr. Gero's lab. All the while, Krillin and Goku spend the day hanging out, with Krillin sharing his concerns of becoming weak and not being able to defend his family, causing him and Goku to start theory crafting some ways to him to start getting stronger. All the while, the two fathers look after their daughters. Over with the scouting team, we find them sweeping the mountains which Bulma knows hides Dr. Gero's hidden lab. After hours of searching, they find the entrance, the front blown to bits and ash scattered everywhere. However, on the inside, they find things mostly intact, except the body of an old man decapitated, left rotting for what presumably has been an awfully long time. Inside are also 2 pods, labelled 18 and 17. The heroes are able to figure out that these must have been the pods which housed the terrible twins, and after looking around they can figure out that the androids must have retaliated against Dr. Gero, decapitating him and destroying his head. This makes everyone feel a bit queasy. The smell is wretched, but they continue to push through, looking around and trying to figure out what they can do. While Bulma's attention is solely on the pods, she notices that everyone else is looking around confused, as if searching for something. Bulma spots this, asking what's up, but only gets a brief response from Trunks, who says, "Something else is in here, weak but strong, strange but familiar. Truthfully, we aren't sure what they are, or who it is." But Bulma, hearing this, feels nervous, looking around herself, But that's when Chi-Chi finally locks onto the power, aiming her hand down, firing off a small ki blast, a weak one as well. This cuts through the ground only a few feet, revealing an underground section, the already hidden layer. Everyone seeing this starts climbing down, and once they make it to the sub-layer of the lab, they are amazed of what they find. A small child-sized bug in a pod, floating in a liquid which looks similar to the ones used in the healing pods. Everyone's confused at what it is as they search around and soon find the name of this creature, Project Cell. Learning of what this creature is, everyone is horrified and concerned, thinking to destroy it at once, learning that it's a mixed match of every fighter's DNA designed to kill the androids and absorb them before destroying the world. However, shockingly, Bulma is the one to object, thinking that having a fighter like Cell around could be useful, since there are still very powerful people out there, like Vegeta and Nappa, plus what if a threat like the androids was to show itself once again? He could be useful. Everyone can see the logic, but can sense the evil leaking out of the container, which is keeping the bug alive. However, Bulma believes she can reprogram the bug to prevent it from causing any harm. Truthfully, Bulma isn't sure why she's fighting to keep the creature alive. Maybe it's because she's not long had her daughter, so she's feeling extra motherly, even to a creature like that. Maybe she wants to see some good come from the monsters who created the android and killed her parents. Or maybe it's just Goku. He has influenced her in some way, and now she believes that maybe this creature deserves a chance at life. It's done no harm, and if raised correctly, it has a chance to lead a life where it could cause no harm, and in fact, save lives. Piccolo got a chance, and maybe she feels like this creature can do some good as well. With Bulma bringing this fact up, and saying how it's an innocent creature, saying it could make a difference in the future, and after a lot of back and forth, soon an agreement is made that Bulma is allowed to try and reprogram the creature, but if it poses a threat, it's to be killed. Bulma agrees as the group spend a while looting the lab for a few moments before they begin to transfer Cell towards Mount Paozu. When arriving, Goku is shocked to see the bug. Once hearing what the creature is, Goku tells Bulma to be careful around it and that he is not changing that one's diapers. A small laugh is shared as we begin a time skip, in which the Saiyans, Piccolo and even Krillin start training together more often, Krillin having been invited by Goku after the human voiced his concerns of being weak. So now he often joins Goku in high gravity training, even if he struggles all the time, and any time he feels like he's losing motivation, he thinks of his wife and daughter almost dying to the hands of the androids, which gives him the edge to keep fighting, and slowly he's able to handle higher and higher gravity, even though it's taxing on him. Alongside this, he finds time to spar with Goku or even Piccolo, not being anywhere near their level of power, but he has noticed some growth in himself, but knows without some sort of transformation, he won't ever catch up. A thought Piccolo has been sharing with him for a while. However, he feels like if he doesn't find one soon, Goku and the twins are going to far surpass him, further than they already have. During this time, Goku tries to help his sons learn to control whatever this power is, but he has no idea of how. After all, he's never used the form, so he has no idea of how it works. After speaking to Piccolo for a while, they decide on trying meditation, something they do a lot anyway, and 2 months after the first transformation, they feel ready to try it once more, as Gohan offers to transform while Trunks, Piccolo, Krillin and Goku get ready to hold the boy off in case things go sideways. The plan being for Gohan to transform into the Ikari form without using the Blitzwave machine, to prevent Gohan from being at full power while Trunks and Goku do use the machine, leaving them at full power. And once everything is set up, Gohan begins to transform. He achieves the Ikari state within a few seconds. As the boy sits in it for a few seconds, he looks around asking if everyone's ready. They all nod their head as Gohan begins to lose himself in the sea of red. All the anger the boy normally contains is let loose. Thinking about losing his loved ones, grandparents, and the threat the androids brought to his world, Gohan snaps, letting out a powerful scream. A brief flash of yellow aura wraps around Gohan before turning orange, something Goku is quick to notice, as Gohan becomes a Super Ikari. Straight away, Gohan's power is massive. For a few seconds it looks like Gohan has control before he begins to attack everyone. All the Z fighters are quick to work together to stop Gohan from killing anyone or destroying the planet. After a long 3-hour fight, they manage to subdue Gohan, all heavily injured and extremely fatigued, but they are all alive. After this, the group plan on waiting a while before trying the transformation again. However, Goku picks his child's brain, asking what he went through when transforming, leading to Gohan sharing the rage and despair he felt moments before transforming. Hearing this, Goku wonders if he can achieve the other transformation through these means. As for Bulma, she spends this time working on Cell, caring for her daughter, and also running Capsule Corp. The woman spends most of her time working at Capsule Corp, trying to make sure that peace is kept. After all, the world's in a bit of hysteria after the android assault. However, when she's got a free moment, she spends it with her daughter, and when she's even got a little bit of time away from that, she works on Cell. And the woman has made good progress so far on reprogramming him. Noticing that her husband and son's DNA is inside the creature, she starts trying to use this to increase the goodness inside her Cell, and also hoping to flush down the suppressed cells of Frieza and his forces. She also tries implementing some of her own, knowing that she is a good person at heart, and also hoping this will bring a pseudo-intelligence to Cell. And soon, a year passes since the android attack, which means the Dragon Balls are once again active, meaning the Dragon Team can undo all the damage done by the androids. With something the Dragon can grant easily. However, in a shocking twist, after wishing for all damage to be undone, the Dragon asks for the second wish. Everyone is surprised until they hear an explanation from Kami, who explains that he spent his full time in the time chamber to make sure that he could buff the Dragon massively. So now the Dragon can not only grant 2 wishes, but can grant wishes at a stronger demand, meaning the Dragon overall is just much stronger. Hearing this, the group wonder what to wish for, but Goku, having a wish in mind, asks if he could make it. Piccolo and Krillin are both a bit bummed having one in mind themselves, but knowing what Goku is about to ask for, they nod their head. As Goku asks Shenron for knowledge on any transformation known about the Saiyans and how to achieve it, the pure-blooded Saiyan is hoping to learn how to control this new state his sons have found, or at least how to activate it himself. This leads to everyone learning the legend of the Super Saiyan and the Super Saiyan God, while also learning a little bit about the Ozaru form. Goku, hearing about the Super Saiyan, believes this is likely what his sons had achieved, but makes sure to take a mental note on what that Super Saiyan God was. They don't have 5 pure-blooded Saiyans yet, but it might be a good idea to keep in the back of his mind. Having heard the legend, he thinks some of the facts must be wrong. However, knowing the name, having an idea of a way to achieve it, and now knowing the legend, Goku knows he must try to achieve the form, but that's for later. Right now, they celebrate. They celebrate the fact the world is finally returned to normal. With this damage undone, the Sun family returns to Capsule Corp, hugging Mr. and Mrs. Reefs. 4 years of peace begins on Earth. Bulma spends his time working on Cell, now backing away from CEO as Capsule Corp, and now getting to spend her full time committed on working on Cell and looking after her daughter, alongside Goku. She manages to spend this time removing all traces of Frieza's and his forces' DNA from the bug, instead having a much heavier amount of Goku, her sons, herself, and even a little bit of her daughter's DNA, achieving this within the first year of the time skip. When the woman is ready to release the bug, she gathers all the fighters she can, her family, Piccolo, Krillin, Chi-Chi, even Tien and Yamcha show up. So when the bug is released, a weird looking bug-like man walks out of the tank. Bulma was smart enough to let the bug live out its larva stage inside the incubation tank, meaning Cell was ready to be born for a while. Bulma had just halted the progress. At first, everyone is ready to fight, as it hisses slightly before looking towards Goku. A smile creeps along its face before it speaks. San Goku. His voice puts everyone on edge, as Gohan looks towards the Blux Wave machine, getting ready to activate it. I wish to spar with you. Everyone hearing this looks at one another before the bug smiles, a scary but warm smile. Seeing this, everyone sighs in relief as Goku approaches him, saying he would love to spar. As the pair look at one another, another rivalry is born. But Bulma, relieved to see her hard work had paid off, tells Cell she needs to run some tests before he can fight, but after that he can battle Goku as much as he likes. The bug looks slightly frustrated, but nods his head. With Cell having been reformed to the hero side, Goku takes full advantage of training with the bug. Since the bug had been given more DNA and more up-to-date data on the Z fighters, he is much stronger than he would have been if he was born when Dr. Gero had planned him. The bug's power is incredible, making him far stronger than any of the other fighters. Even Goku and his sons in the Akari form can't take him down. But Cell doesn't look down on any of them. Instead, he works towards making them all stronger, wanting to make sure that the Earth will be safe in case of the next future attack, while also making sure he has a good sparring partner. And the people he takes a specific interest in are definitely the twins and Goku. Goku loves this as he gets a chance to truly push himself, spending all of his time training, working towards the Super Saiyan form. He has a description, he knows what it is, he just feels like there's something stopping him. As for Piccolo and Krillin, the pair find themselves training with one another more often. As the Saiyans have taken a bit more of an interest in Cell, they've pushed away, not using the gravity chamber as much, and just training how they used to. Krillin is managing to keep up with Piccolo somewhat, but both know that if they want to catch back up with the Saiyans, they need to find a new power, some way to develop themselves further, but they have no idea how to achieve this. Both have considered using the Dragon Balls, but they want to discover it on their own. They don't want to ask for help. That's why they haven't done it yet. As for Goku, during this time of training, he manages to break the barrier, that thing he's been working towards, that thing he had asked the dragon about. He finally pushes through it. He remembers how Gohan described the great rage he felt, thinking of how close to death he was, thinking the near loss of his wife and friends. His hair spikes upwards slightly as he digs deeper, thinking of the loss of his grandpa, almost getting to never see his sons grow old, the near death at the hands of Frieza. Finally, the thought of never meeting his newborn daughter is the thing that pushes him over the edge, as Goku screams out while he trains, almost crying with frustration as he achieves the Super Saiyan form. Everyone training with Goku at the time is confused as they feel Goku's incredible power. Goku knows this is the power his sons had learned and just didn't know how to access, which means the legend was wrong, like Goku had suspected, but he's happy it broke through. They can finally take the next steps in their training. Now having achieved the form, Goku spends time learning it and then teaching it to his sons, which doesn't take them long to learn. After all, they had already unlocked the form, they just didn't know how to turn it on. Only in their Akari state did they really understand it. Now having understanding of the form, they start working towards mastering it, and soon all do so. All the while, Cell encourages them to keep pushing themselves to new limits, and keep facing stronger threats, while he himself continues to train, while watching it with interest at the power they display. A smile creeps along his face every time he watches them turn Super Saiyan, but he continues to train with them, pushing forward and making sure that what they've achieved doesn't go to waste. 4 years after Cell's awakening, the Sun family finds themselves sitting down to eat, with Cell joining them. The bio-android doesn't really require food. He can eat, and it does sometimes help, but it doesn't really ever do anything for him. Instead, he sits next to his younger sister, Bulma. The bug had taken to babysitting Bulma when Goku and Bulma were a bit too busy. This led to the two developing a bit of a sibling relationship. As the two sit down eating, the Sun/Brief family takes in the time to laugh and enjoy life. It's been peaceful for a while. Everyone has made progress in what they wanted to pursue. Bulma is finally getting to the age where she's considering trying out training, but it doesn't really seem like her thing. She's much more interested in shopping and other things. While Trunks and Gohan are getting ready to attend their first year of school next year. While Bulma's healing pod project was a massive success, so everyone's just loving life at the minute. That is until 5 massive powers appear. Goku is quick to recognise 2 of them, the power of Vegeta and Nappa, so he slowly pulls himself up from the table and walks outside, with his family following a few paces behind, Cell making sure to stay close to Bulma just in case anything was to go wrong. Once making it into the garden, they see the 2 Saiyans standing next to 3 aliens. A light blue alien, a red alien wearing weird clothes, and some small alien Bulma recognises as Jacko, something from the Galactic Patrol. Vegeta and Nappa, seeing the Earth Ray Saiyans, smile as Vegeta locks eyes with Kakarot. "We require your help, Kakarot." Everyone looks at one another horrified, and that's where we're leaving this part. I hope everyone enjoyed this part. I know my uploads have been kind of wobbly-dobbly, but that's because I've been working on 2 very big videos. This was not one of them. My other next 2 videos are pretty big and important. One of them will be long and hopefully everyone will enjoy. One of them is just a part I really need to make sure I've got all my pieces together for it. So yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed this part. I don't really know what to say. I hope y'all have a good day or a good night. I'll see you next time.